How's it, guys, and welcome to this month's episode of YWP Photo Editing Tutorials. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how to do a warm sunset/sunrise edit, where basically I'm just going to be using a photo that was taken, well, in this case it was taken at sunset, and I'm going to be enhancing or bringing out the warm natural colors in the image. So this is the final edited product. This is the raw file that I'm going to be working with. So yeah, let's start. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to crop and level the image, because at the moment it's not level. I'll show you how I want to do that now. So I'm just going to crop it portrait like that. I want to center the subject, and then in order to level an image, you're going to use this tool here, and basically all you need to do is you need to find a naturally occurring straight line or level reference in the image. So that can be the horizon, it can be a road, it can be the water level, it can be anything that you know is straight and level, and you're going to use that as a reference. So in this case I'm going to use the ripples in the water. So you can see this dark line here, that's going to be flat because the water level is always flat. So just going to click on one end. Ooh, that's a bit off. Just going to click on one end and drag to the other end, and it's going to level the image. Okay, now what you're going to do is, hold on, let me just center it a bit more. Now I know it doesn't really look level now. It is, but the hippo is not level because it's not sitting flat in the water. You can see this side of the head is more submerged than this side. You can tell because the water level comes closer to the ear on that side than it does there. So there's not much I can do about that. So yeah, that's why it still doesn't look completely straight. It's just because the hippo was sitting a bit funny. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of one of these presets. Now, I don't often use presets when I'm editing. I generally like to do everything myself, but in this case, one of the presets, specifically warm shadows, it does a lot of the work for me. It doesn't do everything, I'm still going to be altering it a lot, but it does a lot of the work for me. You can see it brings out the warm colors. Next one I'm going to do is just some general editing. It's not going to look great now, but you just need to trust the process. So first I'm going to darken the image. I'm going to underexpose it a lot. Like I said, it doesn't look great now, but you'll see why I'm doing this afterwards. I'm going to bring up the contrast. I'm going to lift the shadows quite a lot, just to soften it a bit. I'm just going to increase texture as well as dehaze. Not too much. Okay, next what I'm going to do is, because it's much too dark now, so in order to brighten it, I'm going to make a linear gradient, and this is going to create the effect that the sun is shining on the subject. I often use this technique in a lot of my edits. Yeah, I really like it. I'll show you now. So like I said, you just want to make a linear gradient where you're going to bring up the exposure, and you're going to bring down dehaze. So this will create like a hazy soft effect, which is quite nice. I'm also just going to bring up the temp a bit, and you're just going to click and drag from the top to the bottom. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom, but something like that. So you can see the bottom is still quite dark, and the top is bright. I'm actually going to brighten it just a bit more, like that. So you can see the bottom's still dark and the top's bright, so it creates the effect that, like I said, the sun is shining on the subject. Next, what I'm going to do is, I think it's the final step, because this is an eye level image, I want to focus on the eyes and just bring out the details in the eyes a bit more. So I'm just going to zoom in. This image is very grainy because it was taken in low light conditions at sunset. We're just going to zoom in on the eyes, create a brush. I don't want a big feather, barely any feather at all, and I'm just going to do very minor adjustments, bring up exposure, contrast, shadows, and clarity. I'm just going to go over the eye. You can see it doesn't change it much, but it is noticeable. And you do the same on the other eye. And you can see how just by doing that, sorry, my laptop's a bit slow. Just by doing that, it draws your attention to the eyes a lot more. But yeah, I think I'm done. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, if you're keen to record your own editing tutorials for YWP, please either contact Gabby, Luca, or myself, and we'll get back to you. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and see you next time.